So in this video, we're going to be looking at how someone called Belly Mujinga, I'm hoping I pronounced her name right, was essentially killed by someone who had coronavirus and spat on her. This kind of crime is just, like, it'll bring a tear to your eye, I think, because it's tragic. And so, the fact that they call a Victoria ticket worker dies after being spat on, like, it should put the victim's name in at least. At least put the victim's name in. And so a lot of organisations do that. It's not just the BBC, but it's So a railway, so Belly Mujinga, a railway ticket officer, has died with coronavirus after being spat at by a man who claimed he had COVID-19. Belly Mujinga, who had underlying respiratory problems, was working at Victoria Station in London in March when she was assaulted along with a female colleague. So he hit two people essentially. And in days of the incident, both women fell ill with the virus. British Transport Police said an inquiry has been launched to trace the men who spat at her. Miss Mujinga was on the concourse of Victoria Station 22nd of March when she was approached by the suspect. Her husband, Lusamba Godi Katale, sorry about the pronunciation, said the man had asked his wife what she was doing and why she was there. She told him she was working, and the man said he had the virus and spat on her. Miss Mujinga was admitted to Barnet Hospital on the 2nd of April, was put on a ventilator, but she died 3 days later. The Transport Salaried Staffs Association, TSSA, said the British Prime Minister's spokesman has called the attack on the key workers despicable. Why the Prime Minister himself couldn't give out a statement, given that this happened months ago. I digress. Mr. Catale has said his wife called his wife on a video app when she was in hospital, but didn't hear from her again. I thought she might be asleep, but the doctor phoned me to tell her she had died. And it said that he couldn't even say goodbye to her. She was a good person, a good mother, and a good wife. She was a caring person and would take care of everyone. 10 people attended Miss Mujinga's funeral, including her 11-year-old daughter. At least they got to go to a funeral. I guess they need positive. I can drag out of this, to be honest, because I know there was the funeral of the boy who couldn't have his family members around him. Her cousin, Agnes Ndumba, told the BBC that Miss Mujinga believed she was safe in her usual work environment, the ticket office. They should not have made her work on the concourse, she said. She shouldn't have died in this condition. We could have prevented it if we had more PPE, or they had her inside instead of being on the concourse. TSSA General Manuel Cortez said, "We are shocked and devastated at Belly's death. She is one of far too many frontline workers who have lost their lives to coronavirus." The union said there were serious questions about her death. As a vulnerable person at the at-risk category, her condition was known to her employer. There are questions about why she wasn't stood down from frontline duties early on in the pandemic, Mr. Cortez has said. So this is the TSSA, I think it's the union. As a vulnerable person in the at-risk category, we covered that. Tragic incident. Miss Mujinga's employer, Govia Thameslink Railway GTR, said they will look into any allegation extremely seriously and said it was investigating all claims. Angie Dole of GTR said the safety of all customers and staff who are key workers themselves continue to be the front of mind, and we follow the latest government advice. Latest figures show that Transport London workers have died. 42 TfL workers have died with coronavirus, and an additional 10 Network Rail staff. This is crazy. And her cousin has said that had she had enough PPE, she might not have died, which is believable. And so hopefully this gets investigated about why they had someone with breathing problems out in the open. But more importantly, above that, they find this guy, whoever he is, and I don't know if he'd get a manslaughter charge. I was hoping the secret barrister would have covered this on Twitter, and then I could have just figured out what kind of charges they could levy against the assailant. But But yeah, this is a grim. Like, what? Why even do that? Spitting on someone is abhorrent, but doing it when you have coronavirus or when you think you have coronavirus is just far worse, And to some people, that's a death sentence, and clearly to Belly Mujinga, it was a death sentence, and it's tragic. It's tragic, to be honest. And there's, I'm hoping that GTR, the Thames Railway or whoever it was, are investigated and they see that, look, could this been avoided? Why weren't they given enough PPE, and why she wasn't taken off the front line, essentially, and perhaps government advice on protective equipment just came too late, as this was in March. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I hope the family find closure, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.